And a very warm welcome to the lovely people on YouTube as well. We are starting into TTL Group A, the Gold League, with Nicov versus Z40, where we have a draft already and are waiting for the game to start, obviously with a little bit of spec delay. It takes a moment, so we can take a look at the draft. Nicov wants to play Graveyards, a map that is pretty similar to Arabia. Gold and Stone are a bit more spread out on the map and smaller lumps. There are more relics, therefore civs that profit off of relics are a bit stronger there. Z40 wants to play Migration, where you start on a little island and have to migrate to the middle without losing control over the water around the islands. And Fractal is the neutral map that was left over after everything else was banned by the players. And I don't know much about the map yet. That will probably change today. Civs for Nicov that are open are Chinese, Lithuanians, Dravidians, Franks, Gujaras, and Z40 will play with Italians, Berbers, Persians, Malians, and Vietnamese. And I think we will see Lithuanians on Graveyards. That's pretty much set for Nicov. On Migration, I prefer Dravidians for Nicov, and on Fractal, I don't know that much. Maybe Gujaras could be an option. I mean, he has to pick Chinese for a reason. Maybe Chinese even for Migration? I don't think so. Yeah, Z40, I wouldn't mind the Italians in the specific matchup against Lithuanians on Graveyards. When in the background, I already hear the game starting. We will look into it in a moment. But Berbers, Persians, Malians all have solid options against the strong cavalry of Lithuanians. For Migration, Italians, Berbers, Persians, Malians, all possible. And Fractal, I don't know that much about it. So we might have to look into the game. And that already started. So we go over to it and see that I was kind of wrong with my predictions, as Nicov is playing with Lithuanians here. Oh, and he was in his lumber camp. Nice position here inside the Fractal. And you have to chop yourself out to get to the water. Oh, and Z40 sends forward a will that can run away from Nicov kind of easy and kills all the deer that are zebra in this case. Oh, who loses a scout here? It's looking good for Z40. Not anymore, because Nicov is running away. Yeah, Nicov getting in his elephant very early, just like Z40, because otherwise Z40 could have stolen it with his will or his scout. And yeah, Nicov wanted to prevent that, and Z40 wanted to prevent Nicov from doing the same to him, even though he didn't even try to do it. And wow. Z40 is milling the berries off Nicov. Oh no, it's a house. I thought it was a mill. And Nicov doesn't really have the option to kill the scout here with the TC, because he doesn't want to idle his wills. He really needs the food. And I would like to see Z40 going for the deer now, pushing them in. I'm always saying deer, even though those are zebras, but I think Age of Empires players know what I mean, as it's the same animal, just with a different skin in the game. It does have 125. No, 140. Do deer have 140 food all the time? I had 125 in my head, but what is in my head is not necessarily true. We can take a look on at the corners here, where we have a relic, quite some stone and gold, And once again, players have to move out through the wood to get there. but both are prioritizing the water here. Nicov with 4 vills here and will reach the water very soon. Z40 going for only 2 there, indicating a very aggressive land play by him. And that will give Nicov the advantage on water, maybe even so much that he can deny Z40 of docking later. Could be problematic for Z40 if he doesn't do enough damage on land. And the wood line here is very safe for Nicov. Archers could annoy a bit. Okay, there's the dock. Really nice. Is Nicov going over to wall in the wood choppers here? He places a palisade. Well, 3 tiles of palisade here. Or even just a dock. Just build a dock here. Completely blocking off your opponent. It could be attacked by the vills, but if you add a galley, that should be possible before you get killed there. Then it should work. Z40 going forward with his vills, but I don't know for what. Send them to stone, but no, isn't doing that anymore. If I remember correctly, Berbers lost their faster moving vills in Dark Age. So Nicov should be able to take fights here. Not only the ones the 40 wants to take. And I'm not sure if that is the best usage of vills. They do get 3 bonus damage against buildings, which in this case in Dark Age do have -2 armor, so he's dealing 8 damage per hit. But is killing 1 house worth 5 vills of idle time? Nicov and Z40 up basically at the same time. Nicov with Loom, Z40 with Loom. And Nicov is sending over more vills to the wood, walls those in again. But the scout is around already. Won't deal enough damage though against all those vills. And yeah, Nicov with a palisade here. Won't stop Z40 forever. If this tile of wood now drops, he gets to the water as well. But Nicov already there will be able to get a galley out. Isn't on gold yet, so he can't produce more than 1 galley. And that his wood vills are walled in isn't the biggest problem for Nicov at the moment. I don't see a reason why he should put them away right now. Z40 isn't giving him any reason. Oh, he will build a tower here or here. And then maybe this position here would be safe, but that could be really problematic. Z40 will give Nicov a good reason to pull away those vills, but he isn't able to. I think it's closed here as well. Yeah, and immediate reaction here from Nicov with more vills. 1 vill not working yet, and every extra vill, apart from the first one, is only 50% as effective. So it's not that much faster with the 7v5 vills. Nicov is pulling more vills in to kill the tower soon. Now, put them in. Good job. Oh, nice wall attempts here. Not quite successful. 1 vill in, 2 vills in. And no vills inside the tower, but another tower. Oh, it would be sick. Okay, would be sick if Z40 would have walled in the vills here. But they could have fought themselves out easily. Nicov walling on the side here, has another lumber camp, is walled here. So Z40 would have to accept a lot of damage. And this tower, yeah, it is a bit annoying, but isn't denying Nicov of the wood here. And Z40 with a lot of vills on stone. Great dock here by Nicov is preventing Z40 from getting over there. And if Z40 builds this dock and the ship gets out here, it is just trapped. And Nicov with so many fishing ships. 8 fishing ships, 2 more in the queue. he has a very solid eco. Z40 building more and more towers. Oh, this one could be tricky again. Oh, Nicov can't build this one. Really, only 3 vills would have enough space here. But 1 or 2 of those would be attacked by the tower. Therefore, this tower won't get up before this one is there. And the Z40 decides to not build the tower as fast as possible, but to get as much damage done against the vills trying to build the tower there. And more vills are pulled to kill this tower, but they are getting severely damaged by the one on the right. No fletching so far for either player, but that doesn't matter that much. Okay, this tower goes up, vills are in there. Are there more vills coming from Z40? A tower got killed, and Nicov moves away again. Oh, less HP for Nicov, but he can just simply run away. And a market might... I'm not sure what he wants to do with it. Maybe sell stone? He won't really build any more towers here. Sell stone and then buy yourself up to the castle age. Okay, so the 40 also with some fishing eco soon. Nicov now with 12 fishing ships. I wouldn't mind another dock here just to make it a bit more efficient. And if we're looking at raw villager numbers, Z40 straight ahead with 33 versus 28. But total worker numbers higher for Nicov because of his clear lead on the water. Oh, and now fletching in from the blacksmith here for Z40. And then he can range this tower with this new tower here. And this tower for Nicov will probably deny those vills from coming in. Not sure, maybe this vill should go over and build a house here. It's the woman that does it. But the Z40 can build a tower here now. That could attack this tower. And Nicov without a blacksmith. Oh no, there it is. Everything a bit calmer now, with Nicov up to the castle age. And as the 40 can use his TC to produce villagers, is getting more and more fishing ships, so he will overtake Nicov in worker numbers. But a lot of his workers are just running around and trying to kill things. Oh, in this case, building a tower on the berries. Not the most important thing for Nicov at the moment, but extra food resource is often nice. We didn't really look at the relic distribution. We have 1, 2, 3 throughout the middle. One here where more gold and stone is, inside the fractal. And 1 relic on each side, on the outside of the fractal. And I only now saw that you can just go through here, right? So both players could go to their respective corner of the map. And Nicov not with the most space. Oh, and the foundation of the tower blocked the shots from Nikov's tower here. So Nicov doesn't really need that corner to get wood, but it would obviously be nice to get your vills out to safety. But as I said, I think you can walk around, or at least use a transport ship to send your vills over here. And then maybe build even a TC here as soon as he is in Castle Age. Ah, he is already in Castle Age and has a siege workshop here, and a monastery will come up. So monk siege push. But oh, and the Mangonel. Ooh, I thought he would get a hit straight into the faces of the vills. Luckily for Z40, no kill yet. One there, and Mangonel runs into the range of the tower. There's a repair will. Good shot, 2 more kills, and Z40 really needs to get up to the castle age. Feudal age towers, even with fletching, are not really good against Mangonels with a repair will behind them. And if Z40 isn't doing anything against Mangonels soon, he will lose more and more towers. And there comes the first monk, tries to convert a will. If he isn't successful, he will just grab the relic, secure himself the first extra damage for the cavalry units of Nicov. Yeah, and as I said, 1 will can easily repair all the damage the tower is doing, even with 5 wills inside of it. There's too much pierce armor, nice attack ground here, hard to engage the Mangonels with wills. There's a monk and 5 spearmen around, even though the spearmen would dive pretty fast to the tower with all those wills inside there. And Z40 can click up to the castle age, now has 2 buildings, 2 blacksmiths and a market. I think the second blacksmith was just a misclick, or yeah, some sort of mistake that just happens every now and then. Nicov is stonewalling here to make sure his opponent can't come over here, but the tower is really annoying, shooting inside this small little bay where all the wills have to go through, and these fishing ships have to go in to get the leftover fish. I assume this corner wasn't scouted by Nicov yet, therefore fishing ships not going in there. This Mangonel is going in a bit too deep, but is killing so many wills here. Nicov now with a 7 worker lead. Losing a Mangonel here, could lose the other one. Now under 2 towers, it's a little bit too much. But 12 eco kills for Nicov versus 6 for Z40. And Z40 could lose 2 more wills now, 2 conversions. But killed all the Mangonels and is still repairing the towers. Only 33 stone left for Z40. And whenever I say Z40, I really feel that I'm German. I think 40 might be one of the words where you hear the most that I am clearly German. And Nicov still not going through this area to the left side. Oh, nice outpost here to see early what is coming to the siege workshop and the monastery, and then the TC. And does Z40 know about the TC? Yeah, okay, he knows about it. And once again, Mangonels inside there. It's not good that they can be hit by 2 towers, but this one could fall pretty fast. And repair wills are getting killed. And with 5 repair wills for the Mangonels, the towers aren't really doing damage. First tower is down here, and I think if those 2 towers here are falling, Z40 has a really big problem. Gets Bodkin now as he is in Castle Age and has a Mangonel already. Ah, there's the siege workshop. Second relic in for Nicov. Tries to convert wills every now and then. Oh, this one, I'm not sure if it... Ooh, close call here for Nicov. But gets the kill against the opponent's Mangonel. Maybe repair this Mangonel here. That was damaged and it's a bit too close to the siege workshop for my taste. If it can hit the siege workshop, the Mangonels coming out of the siege workshop can't hit it. Okay, second TC, third TC for Nicov. He obviously has this one in the middle. I think I would have preferred it here. It's a bit tricky here with the... it doesn't really matter. 4 Mangonels now. Spearmen to protect it against potential light cav that could also kill the monks easily. Something we normally see more on Arena, but on these kind of maps it's also very effective, especially with low eco. Nice kill here. Z40 got through this wood line completely and is in his corner as well. Redemption for Nicov. And kills a Mangonel here. Redemption really good against Mangonels and against Building, so he could just go with one monk here, and Z40 would basically be forced to delete the siege workshop. He will lose it anyways, but won't give it to his opponent. And Nicov with 23 bill lead, or worker lead. Castle for Z40. But it feels a little bit desperate. He's losing all his forward area. Stone and gold then open for Nicov to get for himself. And it will be really tricky for Z40 then. And he doesn't have enough stone to get another TC up. He would have to buy it. Nicov could convert the market. Nicov is converting both blacksmiths. Wheelbarrow in the town center for the 40. Yeah, obviously Nicov has no idea how much stone the 40 has, therefore it doesn't occur to him that converting the market could be really good for him. Okay, camel archers. I see that it's basically the only option for Z40 right now, without a stable or anything. But against monks and mangonels, they aren't great. Oh, a ram is out for Nicov, going for the towers. Has his own repair wall inside, and a 4th TC for Nicov. Not sure how... Oh, what? Nicov deleted most of his fishing ships, has only 3 left. 2 of those are on fish traps. I mean, with this army, he doesn't need that much food. And buying fish traps is a high cost in the beginning. It gives you a lot of food for the 100 wood you have to spend. I think it's a bit more effective if you're just comparing wood cost to food gain in comparison to farms. But to get 12 fish traps for your 12 fishing ships, 1,200 wood is not something you have lying around, and you could obviously use the pop space. Nicov is queuing more fishing ships. Would have liked if he would have make sure that there's nothing left in the corner, and a very aggressive castle here by Nicov, and potentially really strong mangonel shots, but Nicov isn't seeing the camel archers, and camel archers inside the minimum range of the mangonels can kill them kind of easily, killing a monk, but now it's getting tricky with 3 monks and both mangonels there. Monks dying, but camel archers as well, and the 40 has only 3 camel archers left. Floating 2,000 gold. He has, oh, he doesn't even need the castle to click up. He has monastery and siege workshop. Yeah, he is buying food, will most likely click up to the Imperial Age soon. Oh, and camel archers coming in, killing the monk, going for the vills, mangonels shooting, not doing enough damage to kill anything here. Please don't tell me this will be a doubt castle. Okay, it isn't. Losing some vills, but that is fine for Nicov. He has 95 versus 50, close to double the vill amount of his opponent. And Nicov is on the way up to the Imperial Age. Has 3 relics here as well. Not getting this one. I think right now it's not a problem of APM. And he could have known that there's a relic in the corner. It's always the case on this map. Everything a bit slow right now. Not much happening. Nicov is preparing a lot of cavalry with 4 stables. And yeah, they have +3 attack immediately. 1 defense upgrade is in for Nicov. I think he will go for the second one as soon as he has enough gold. Should be the case now. And then those, I assume, knights can be really scary. Camel archers of Z40 are moving in. sniping a Will, sniping a Monk. Monk, yeah, is down, and then Mangles have problems hitting those fast-moving targets. And Nicov with his 5th TC. Probably not really to produce Wills out of them all the time, but to get a bit more security for the Wills. And now we get a trap. And I don't see how Z40 can come back, even though he's close to imping himself. Okay, but he decides he won't be able to win this. I think this game was over for a bit already. And yeah, Nikov's win on this map. And then we will see migration in the next game.